The fireworks are being set off here in Milwaukee. 25,000 Bucks fans filled the Deer District for Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the first Finals game in this city since 1974. And guys, the Bucks made their waiting worth it with a 20-point win over the Phoenix Suns, 120-100. The final score. Giannis Antetokounmpo followed up his 42-point performance in Game 2 with 41 more in Game 3, except, well, this time, the win. A balanced offensive effort as Drew Holiday also added 21. Chris Middleton, the All-Star, added 18 as well. And we're going to break it all down on this post-game show right here on NBA TV, including post-game press conferences from both coaches and players on both sides of the floor, as this series is now 2-1, and the Milwaukee Bucks have protected their home court advantage. Welcome into Milwaukee. This is live at the NBA Finals, brought to you by YouTube TV. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside the Hall of Famer, Grant Hill, 3D, Dennis Scott, who has wandered up from the sidelines to sit next to us at the table, and Brendan Haywood is right down there as well. Guys, we've got a lot of fans surrounding this site, and they're all chanting Bucks in 6, and they're listening to what you're saying right now, so why don't we talk a little Giannis, because they're going to want to hear a little something about that guy, G.
Yeah, as they should. Giannis just continued with his stellar play, a fantastic performance as you talked about. He's had 11 now games of 30-plus points, 10-plus rebounds in the postseason, the highest since another guy we know, a colleague of ours, Shaquille O'Neal.
The fact that he's able to stay physical, and anytime you can be on a list with Allen Iverson, Rick Barry, of course Michael Jordan down at 98, but people forget how good Rick Barry could score the basketball. But what I'm impressed about today, Brendan, Giannis still got to the free throw line 17 times. And we know he's struggling to pass at the free throw line. But making 13 free throws in a Game 3, knowing you couldn't go down 0-3, I thought it was huge.
It was big time, and we know that Giannis is going to get down the lane and he's going to get the dunks. But 3D, I think you made a very valid point. Getting to the line 17 times, hitting 13 of them, and not being afraid to go to the free throw line. On the flip side, if we think back to Philly and some of what went down with them with Ben Simmons, at times we thought he didn't really want to be there. Giannis didn't let the fact that he didn't let his past haunt him. Yep. He said, you know what, I've missed some free throws in the past, but I'm going to stay aggressive because the only way we're going to win this series is if I lead this team.
Ahead of this game, Brendan, you said that they were going to need Batman, Robin, and Alfred the Butler as well. I don't know who to call which character, but all three of those guys showing up when they needed it in Game 3.
All three of those guys played well, but I think for me it's Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday came in, he was 5 of 10 from 3. He was hitting his shots, he was playing with confidence, he was shooting with confidence. In Game 2, he was missing shots, and some of those shots were easy shots. You were seeing him miss layups and stuff, and baskets and transition, baskets that he normally makes. I just think he had an off night in Game 2 where he was 7 for 21. He more than made up for that tonight with a stellar performance. The story of the game is Giannis, but let's not forget about Drew Holiday's his contributions.
No, I agree with that. Shooting a three-point shot. As you watch the ball game there, after that first shot went down, then the second one, I said, wait a minute, he's made 3 threes in a row. And he figured out a way to have pace on the defensive end where chasing Chris Paul around didn't wear out his legs. That's why he could make shots in the second half.
Guys, Bobby Portis is joining us from the court right now. Bobby, your team has now protected home court advantage. Now 2-1 this final series, 3 more games to the title at this point. But as we're all stunned to see this many fans chanting not only the Bucks name, but your name, what was it like to bring the NBA Finals back to Milwaukee for the first time since 1974?
Man, it was great, man. Just go out there and compete at the highest level. Coming from where I come from, it's only a dream, and to be here in this sense and just compete at the highest level is great. The crowd support is always great at home, man. They come in, they do the best they can to support us and be loud as they can. So, we always just try to protect home court as best as possible.
Yeah, Bobby, what a fantastic game. 11 points, 8 rebounds, and I feel like every time in this postseason when the team needs a win, particularly here at home, you come in with great energy, just great efficiency out there on the floor. What's your thought process going into a big game like this here in Game 3 here tonight?
Just be myself, trust my work, man, knowing that the work
kind of get you guys going and understand you couldn't go down 0-3 tonight.
A lot of guys have different voices in it. Obviously, Giannis always starts the game off trying to get us fired up. But I think PJ had the biggest voice at halftime, man, telling us to blow it out, man. There isn't any more we down 2-0. We don't want to go down 3-0. So having, at least 5 more games, ahead of it, or having 5 more chances to play in this NBA Finals, man, we want to give it our all. Knowing that, it's hard to get to this point, and, we're here now, and we're just trying to get it out and just blow the gas tank out, man. Just leave it all out there.
And speaking of leaving it all out there, your fearless leader, Giannis, definitely left it all out there. Hey, talk to me about what you saw from his performance and how great he was tonight.
Man, his name speaks for itself, man, the Greek Freak. He can do some crazy things out there on the basketball court. Being able to hyperextend his knee, less than, 2 weeks ago, and to be able to come in and get 40 points back-to-back and act like he didn't even hyperextend his knee. So he's a relentless player. He's a great leader, and it's fun to play with him out there. He's really unselfish, and all you got to do is cut to the hole, and he'll find you.
Bobby, you added 11 points and 8 rebounds off the bench. How would you define your role on this team at this point?
Just coming in, bringing energy off the bench, being myself, bringing some scoring off the bench, and being who I am. I think the Bucks have done a great job of just letting me be me, and that's, helped me be at peace in life. At this point in my life, I'm just at peace in, my role and my play, and going out there just doing everything I can to, help the team win.
And speaking of help the team win, Bobby, how is Coach Bud giving you the freedom and the confidence so when you come off the bench, you can play at a high level?
He just, just always instilled in me. When I first got here, he was just on my tail about defense. That was the whole thing at first. And then when I started locking in on that end, everything else started just unlocking for me. And, he has great trust in me. He tells me to shoot the shot with confidence, go out there, just be myself, be who I am. And I think that's just allowed me to, play free and, just trust in myself.
Bobby, thanks so much for taking the time to join us. Congratulations on the win. We're looking forward to watching you on Wednesday as well.
I appreciate y'all.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
God bless.
Guys, we've got to get to NBA Twitter first because that is undoubtedly Bobby bringing the energy.
We see you, Hawk. We see you.
Hulkamaniacs.
Yes.
He, before this game, Brendan, was who you defined as one of the deciding factors, one of the X factors in this game. Another one is Drew Holiday. Dennis, I want to ask you about what you saw from him as he added 21 in this game and really shook off a couple of performances in games 1 and 2.
He had finishing legs. What I mean by that, both of you guys noticed, in games 1 and 2, I think chasing around Chris Paul, he had dead legs in the second half. That's why a lot of his shots were flat. Even in
the second round against the Brooklyn Nets. In that game, he really struggled throughout the game. I mean, was almost bricking three-pointers, looked out of sorts, out of rhythm. But down the stretch in the fourth quarter late, he hit some big-time shots. And that showed me, it's one thing when things are going well and you're a shooter, and you know this as well as anyone. But when you're struggling, but you find a way to get it going, that's the sign of some mental toughness. So when I saw that there, I knew this is a guy, and the fact that he struggled in Phoenix, didn't play well, hearing all the critics, everyone talking about that, but just to be able to quiet himself down, find some inner peace and calm, and come out and be effective for his ball club, I'm not surprised the least bit. And he got it done, and, they're going to need for him to continue to play like that to try to get back into this series.
Let's go ahead and take a look at his shot chart presented by Kaiser Permanente. Brendan, I want you to talk a little bit more about not what it takes to knock down shots. These are the best players in the world playing on this stage. But what it takes mentally to rebound from poor performances on the biggest stage.
Mentally, when you're in the NBA, you almost have to have unhealthy belief in your own skills. Yeah. Because on nights where you struggle and everybody's on you and Twitter's roasting you, you have to be able to put that behind you, go on about your business, and then bounce back and come back the next day and act like none of that happened. And that's what the best players in this league do. Like, I played with some guys like Gilbert Arenas could miss 10 shots in a row.
Next one going in, right?
Oh, he's like, all I need to do is see one go in. I'm about to hit 8 in a row.
I wish he had played during the Twitter era.
Maybe not.
But my point is, when you have guys that have high self-confidence, they can go from games where they don't play well. They can have a game or two in a row where they don't play that well. But they're never going to just say, oh, well, I'm going to shy away from the moment, because they always believe in their skill set and they trust their skills. Drew Holiday trusts his skills. Even in game 2, it wasn't like he shied away from the moment. He just didn't play well. He was 7 for 21. Came right back tonight and was shooting those same shots again. And tonight they went down and he was 5 of 10 from 3. And I think 8 to 14 from the field.
I just love what you just said there, Brendan. And just sort of from a perspective standpoint, the NBA, you have 300-400 of the best players in the world. And there's a reason why they get to the NBA. And they trust and believe in themselves, whatever that role might be. If you're a shooter, a rebounder, a defender, you have the ultimate confidence in what you do. Sometimes you're up and down, but you believe. And you saw that Drew Holiday came back, bounced back, tremendous effort.
Speaking of NBA Twitter, I hear we've got yet another one.
Uh-oh.
What do you think of that, guys?
Okay, I see it.
A little bold, perhaps,
that's
but let's do it.
At least you got the win. At least you got the win tonight.
Right,
You got some more work to do, though. But I'm not mad at him.
Say, Oscar was a big guard.
Come on. Solid guard.
Solid.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit, though, about where the momentum shifted in the final minutes of that second quarter heading into halftime. I mean, really, we could have cut that stat box right there at the top stat line, 30-9, the Bucks over the Suns. What was it that triggered that momentum shift, Grant?
It was energy. I think their defense was obviously spectacular. You know, they were able to just get their shots, knock them down with confidence. We talked about Middleton, his performance in this postseason in Game 3, stepping up with confidence. Right here, extra hustle plays. P.J. Tucker not giving up on the play, finding Giannis. And then defensively, getting stops, getting out in transition 3D where they thrive. And, of course, Giannis making the right decision at the rim.
Yeah, you have to pick your poison with Giannis coming down here. Chris Middleton, secondary break. One thing Bud talks about, swing, sharing the basketball. And Drew Holiday, man, what a great pass. Ball from one side of the floor back to the other side of the floor for a wide open three, Brendan.
Yeah, and then you see Drew Holiday right here pestering Devin Booker, who had probably his worst game of the playoffs, not just the finals. And then you see Drew Holiday with the nice behind-the-back pass, and then sharing is caring. Everybody touches it, and Bobby Portis finishes it off with the dunk. And that's what you love to see if you're the Milwaukee Bucks. Great defense turning into great offense, and everybody getting a chance to be a part of it.
And Kristen, you're going to know this. When you look at the stat sheet, the game was really won in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Late in the second quarter, they won that 30, I think it was 39 run. Because the third quarter, they only, won by 7, fourth quarter by 2. So when the coaching staff looks at this stat sheet, Monty Williams, his staff, are going to say, we lost this game in the in the second quarter going to halftime.
Well, but at the end of the third quarter, they finished on a 16-0 run as well. So right there, as you mentioned, those final moments of the second and the third quarters, we asked Bobby about it, about the finals being back here in Milwaukee, about the fans that we hear all around us. But how important, Grant, was home court advantage for a team that, as you mentioned prior to this game, had come back to win here every single time?
It's so true. I mean, they're just comfortable playing here. The familiar surroundings, the crowd, the energy from this building, the energy from this the entire city, Deer District, everyone cheering them on. And what it does is we know Giannis, wherever Giannis is playing, he's going to play well.
Yeah.
But it's the others, not just Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, but it's Lopez, it's Tucker, it's Bobby Portis. Everyone collectively feeling comfortable, playing with confidence, getting back to Milwaukee Bucks basketball. So it couldn't come at a better time for them after they struggled in Phoenix.
Wait, speaking of the Deer District, did you bring us back one of those Bucks?
They took it out there. Someone snatched it. I tried to bring back one for y'all. Someone snatched it. They said, 3D, you don't even drink them. What you I said, I got to get Grant Chris. And they said, nope, they took it right from me. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
I hate to hear that. We may have to send you back out there.
She was talking about that hat all game long.
All day.
I barely watched the game. I was just worried about that. We do, though, have to go. We could send you actually back out to the